Hello, welcome back to the course. And in this lesson, I'm going to talk about getting your writers to build links for you. So this strategy involves actually like hiring some freelance writers. And I basically developed this strategy because, as I mentioned previously, I don't enjoy writing myself. So I naturally found ways that I can hire other people to write for me. And then based on getting a lot of other people to write for me, I developed a strategy of like getting them to also build links for me for free. So this is a strategy that really works well because not only do you get like great content from these writers, but you also get the writers to also like self-promote themselves in order to build backlinks for yourself. And that's what the strategy is geared around. So in this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to find your writers, like some places that you can go, and pretty much one is like using Google search to find your writers, what to look for when hiring a writer. I have specific criteria that I use for for hiring writers, and I'm going to show you what that criteria is and why I chose that criteria. And then I'm also going to show you how to reach out to them. And this is pretty much just going to be like, I'm going to give you an example email template that you can send to them. And then the final thing that I'm going to discuss is how to get them to actually build links for you. And that's another email template. And I have it like basically I've sent this email template out to like hundreds of writers, and it works very effective. So I'm giving it to you guys to use as a template when hiring and getting wanting your writers to actually build links for you. So I'm actually going to go into some live examples for you guys here. So the first place that I like finding writers is a site called ProBlogger.jobs. It's actually like a job board that you can post your job if you're looking for writers. So if depending on what niche, you just pretty much create a post, and then you'll get a flock of writers. Like every time I do this, I probably get anywhere from 50 to 100 writers in my industry. It does cost money. It costs $70 to post a job at the time of this video. And it also lasts for 30 days, but that's plenty of time because you're going to get a lot of quality writers out of this strategy and just finding a writer that you want. And basically, based on the criteria that I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you how you can actually pick the ones that are most useful to you when actually posting a job off of this board. So I just wanted to show you the ProBlogger job board. But the main strategy that I actually use to find writers is basically I would do a search in my industry. So for example, I'm in the health and beauty industry. So normally, in order to find writers, I go to like large authority sites in my space. So basically, the easiest way to do that is do a search in Google for like best health blogs or best beauty blogs, or if you're in finance, best finance blogs. And normally you'll find a top list of some of the top blogs in the industry. But what I'm looking for with these actual sites is I want to look for a site that has a lot of different contributors. So I'm not looking for one that just has one contributor or one person that is writing for the site. I'm looking for a site that actually has multiple contributors because most of these people that write for these larger authority sites and authority specific websites, they're actually freelance writers. So you're definitely going to want to use that to your advantage. So basically, in my example here, I put up a site called Mind Body Green, and basically Mind Body Green is in the health space. They talk about anywhere from beauty to parenting to home, any topics like that. So basically, I have an article here, and basically I just did a search under health, and then I found a writer that actually did an article for this site. Her name is Stephanie, and basically you can see her content. So if you want to get a gauge of like how she writes and the style that she writes, you already have it right here. And so basically after that, you're going to want to do a search for her entire name. So for the example, I just copied her name and then I put it in Google. And so this is the most important part about the strategy is you actually want to see how many other sites that they write for. And you also want to make sure that they are freelance writers. So in this case, she has a personal site, which that's a good sign right here. And then she also writes for prevention.com. Her LinkedIn profile, she says freelance health writer. So that shows me that she's actually, she's a paid writer and she wants other work. And then you have womenshealthmag.com. So she's a writer for that site. Mind Body Green, that's the one we showed you. Menshealth.com. So she has some pretty large sites. So if you keep searching, you can see Runner's World, Good Housekeeping. It just goes on and on. So you can see like this is actually a writer that I want to hire because the strategy is geared around how many other websites that they write for, because this is very essential. So I like to target writers that have anywhere from 5 to 10 other websites that they write for, depending on the authority of them. So, for example, in this case, if it's like high profile sites like Mind Body Green or menshealth.com, I'm definitely going to hire this writer, just because getting a link from those two websites alone is worth paying for her to write for me, and just for that sake is like it's very powerful. So basically, the strategy is you first step one is you find the writer, and then after you find the writer, you reach out to them and ask them to write a couple articles for your site. So basically, you're hiring this writer to do anywhere from 5 to 10 articles on your site if you want them to do that much. And then basically after they publish articles for your site, you're gonna reach out to them and say like, thanks for, I'm enjoying your article so far. And then you want to ask them, is there any other website that you write for? Even though you already know that they write for 10 other websites, you're just like naturally asking like, is there any other website that you're writing for? Because you want them to focus on attributing the articles that they wrote for you and making them a reference for the other sites that they write for. So I'm just going to give you an example of what I'm talking about here. So I have my handy dandy outreach email templates that I want to give you. So basically, I wrote a template framework that you guys can use for actually reaching out to them for the first time. It's very simple. You just say hi, first name, the owner of. You tell them what site you're on, what site you write for, and then a little bit about your site. And then you just said, I'm looking to bring on another potential writer for my website, and I thought you would be a great fit based upon your writing style and portfolio. Let me know if you're interested. So after that, they normally respond and say like, yes, I'm interested in more writing gigs. Do you want to hop on a call, or what are your rates and stuff like that? And then after that, like after you get them to write like a couple articles for your site, you want to send another email. And this email is very, very powerful because basically you don't want to ask for any links, like anything. You don't want like, I want to build links or I want to guest post. That's not what the strategy is revolved around. The strategy is actually boosting their ego, and basically boosting their ego and saying like, yeah, I want you to get more exposure. So here's what I want to do for you, or here's what you can do. So the second email is powerful. So like after you have after they publish some articles on your site, you say, hey, whatever their name is, I enjoyed the first, let's say 5 articles you've written for my website so far. I wanted to know if you happen to write for any other website in that space. So like I said before, you already know that they write for other websites. So you're just naturally asking like you don't know. And then after that, you say, if you do, feel free to reference any of the articles you have published on my site, as I want you to get as much exposure for yourself as possible. So the way that I phrase this is, I'm not asking for a backlink. I'm actually saying like, yes, if you want to reference this on any other website that you write for, feel free to do so. And like I would say 7 out of 10 times they actually reference the articles that they write for you, just because they're actually promoting their own self. And what better way to create content is reference your own content from another website. So you're actually just boosting your own ego. And that's why this strategy is so effective. And I love it because it's like building links on demand. And it's just like, for me, it's like, how many freelance writers can I find that has access to other websites in the industry that I want to get links on? And that's really like the preference around this content strategy. So just another example before I wrap up this video. I just wanted to show you how I outline this strategy and how you can leverage it no matter what niche or industry you're in. So in this case, I have a search put up for best SEO blogs, because I know a lot of people that purchase this course, they are in the SEO space, or they have an agency, or they want to start affiliate marketing. So basically, in this example, you have top list already. So you have 19 blogs that you can reference, 29. So let's just go into HubSpot. HubSpot is a pretty authoritative site. So let's see what they pull up here. So basically, based on this list right here, you can figure out, you can like go through these list of sites and see which ones are actually like have a lot of writers. I know the Moz blog, they have a lot of freelance writers. Neil Patel is an individual site. Search Engine Land has a lot of freelance writers. Search Engine Journal, I think they have freelance writers as well. So I'm just going to choose, let me choose, let's just go, let's go to Moz blog and see what I can find here. So I went to Moz blog, and then let's just go, I just normally just go down the list. So let's go to Dana and see if Dana writes for any other sites and if she's a freelance writer. Okay. So I'll put her name in the search box. So Dana is actually, she's the owner of a company, so that wouldn't be a good example to show you because she, 9 times out of 10, she's probably not a freelance writer. So basically my strategy for this is I just keep going down the list and until I find the people that are actually the freelance writers. And you will find them. It just might take some time initially, but it's well worth it once you find the writers, just because the websites that they have access to are like very, very powerful. So let me go to Amy. I'm gonna try a couple more, and then if I don't find any here, I'm going to just move on. So sometimes you have to put freelance writer because a lot of times people have like generic names. So like in this case, I think Amy. I think this is the one we're looking for here. Amy Porter, freelance writer and editor. Just waiting for LinkedIn. So it says seeking opportunities to offer my skills and creativity to a new team. So I think this is, yep. So basically we found a writer. So basically she's a freelance writer. She writes Good Life Fitness. As you can see, she wrote for Moz. So basically this will be a writer that would be a potential writer that I would want for me. I would just have to see if she writes for any other site. So we can go to her personal site and see what other sites she writes for. Okay, so let's go to published works. So a lot of times you can just go to published works if they have a personal website, and you can see other sites that she writes for. So in this case, she doesn't have a lot of her published works in here, so this wouldn't be a good example of a writer that have their published work on their website. But normally, typically they have like a portfolio of websites, and you can just go to that portfolio and you can see what other websites that they write for. So I just wanted to show you some examples of how this strategy is utilized. And like I said, in this strategy, you're not asking for backlinks. You're not like pretty much trying to get the writer to charge you for backlinks. You're pretty much saying like, okay, I'm gonna pay you for a couple articles on my website, and then once I pay you, then naturally I want you to share those articles on other sites that you write for. So it's like a natural progression. It's not like anything that you're asking for. It's just like basically boosting their ego, like I mentioned before, and you're actually helping out each other because she's getting more exposure from promoting her own content on other websites. So just wanted to outline this strategy and how the strategy works. And then the next strategy is actually going to be how you can actually get your own contributor accounts. And basically these are super powerful because you can basically print articles you can publish articles on demand on premier authority sites like Forbes, Inc.com, Huffington Post, etc., etc., etc. So thank you for watching this, and I'll see you in the next video.